decided to join politics.
And
campus politics. Like I said, I enjoy politics. It's important for people to get to know good, sound doctrine. And so theology also helps with sound doctrine. Even as I was playing drums, that I was feeling very happy and fulfilled. That is something I've really been surprised by this town. It's not a village. It is quite it's a good growing town. My perspective about teens is keeping them active. Keeping them active in the things of the Lord. Keeping them busy with the things of the Lord. Otherwise, other things will keep them busy.
That's true.
Yeah, just give them idle time, they will be busy.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Kingdom Pulse Beyond Sunday. My name is Tekvia Hakasa, and today we are hosting one of our pastors here at CITAM Kakamega, Pastor Shadrack Wasonga. Karibu, Pastor.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting me, even for the yogurt. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Karibu. How are you doing today?
I'm well, I thank God. Yeah, I'm good. Labda wewe, how are you?
I'm very okay. The year started good for me. The year has started good for me.
Okay.
How about you?
Well, the year has started well. I think taking new territories is sort of applying now. Though it was our theme last year.
Yeah.
But it seems like it was a prophetic theme. So we are stepping into new territory in step with the Spirit.
Oh, that is a very interesting way to put it. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So today I've brought you here to let the audience know you and see who is Pastor Shadrack, yeah? So can you tell us more about yourself?
Oh, yeah. I don't think there is a lot. It's just that I'm Shadrack, Otieno, Wasonga. I am a pastor. And I like what I'm doing, and I enjoy serving God as a pastor in whatever capacity. I'm now serving I'm in CITAM Kakamega, but on transit. I'm on my way to CITAM Rongai, which is another new territory that I'm excited to see how that looks like. And so, yeah, I am a husband. I play drums.
Wow.
Just that, yeah.
You play drums?
Yes, I play drums. I happen to play drums, and that is my first ministry.
Okay.
In fact, I think that is my first ministry. If I'm not pastoring, I should be playing drums.
How did that come about?
I think I grew into it. I sort of found myself knowing how to play drums. But now that I think about it, I have grown up. I grew up in Kangemi.
Okay.
And Kangemi, there used to be a lot of these people of dancing around the streets, playing,
the African drums.
Yes. Those churches of the flag.
The flag, yeah.
Yeah. So growing up, I think we were really watching them, and myself and my sister and my friends, we would join those dances. And we would go home. I would take a biro and start playing. I think that's how I looking back, I think I was doing it subconsciously. But the first time I sat on a drum, that was in church, still in Kangemi, I just realized, I found myself playing. I'm good at it. So I think that was a gift God gave me, and I enjoy doing it to date. Okay. I still play drums even here in church, yeah.
That is so interesting, a very interesting way to put it. So, apart from being a drummer, we would like to know how you grew up, how life was in Kangemi. How was it?
Oh,
Apart from running around the streets and playing drums
and dancing.
and dancing,
in
yes.
fact, in fact, it is like ironic, not ironic, but it is sort of a coming of full circle.
Yeah.
That I ended up coming to Kakamega, which is the headquarter of those you know.
The churches.
Those churches,
yes.
Yeah. I've attended a few funerals here, and that is a big part of the funeral, and we've danced a lot. Anyway, you had asked how it was growing up.
How it was growing up, yeah.
I grew up with both present parents. My dad and mom were there. I have two sisters.
Yeah.
I'm the firstborn.
Wow, okay.
So shout out to my family, my sisters, and you know.
Yeah.
Hi mom, I'm on TV. I made it. But yeah. So I grew up with mom and dad being there. Of course, my sister. First, my sister, the second born, and we grew up for a big part. We were almost like twins.
Yeah.
And then our last born sister, who is also, our last born sister. Anyway, it was good. I think I enjoyed my childhood. We grew up in church, by the way.
Okay.
Me, I've grown up in church. We were being beaten if we left church. By the way, we would sit through the sermon. And we don't even understand what this person there is preaching.
Even when you were...
Yes, children. Back then in our church, Sunday school was not like the way we do it today. At the time ya sermon, the kids go.
Yeah.
We used to go for Sunday school in the morning. And so by the time the service is starting, we are all back in church for praise and worship and nini. And then when the service gets to, at some point, kids go play.
Yeah.
Now for me and my sister, we would sit there. My dad was I am a PK.
Okay.
So my dad at that time, I think, was an elder or something, I don't know. So he was sitting in front there, and us, we were seated somewhere. My mom was in the choir. So they would see us properly where we are. Dare we not be there? So me, I've grown up in church.
Yeah.
And then I think growing up, serving in teenage, I think I was still in the playing drums in youth, but in different churches.
Okay.
I served in the youth ministry. Went on to serve in different capacities.
Okay.
Worship and youth. I think that's the main thing that I've done in my teenage, and then I came to Kakamega as a pastor, but it's after a long story, which we may get into. But I had a happy childhood.
Okay.
We played a lot. I really enjoyed playing, video games and all that, and also physical games. Yeah, that was really it.
Yeah. It sounds like a very normal and
just normal
African child,
it was a
Kenyan
normal
childhood.
African Kenyan childhood where the father beats up the children. Yes, we were beaten up. Me, I was beaten thoroughly. But I guess that's how we ended up the way we ended up.
That's very true.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that. Yeah. So seeing that you've grown up in church and you've served in different ministries, you're a PK, so that means does that also mean that your salvation or your call to Christianity was also brought automatic, or how did it come about?
Yeah, unlike many people who have this this sort of like a Saul to Paul moment where they fell down and they felt a big light hitting them on the face, and now they didn't see for a while, and then they started. And mine is just a bit not dramatic. I like I said, growing up in church, we grew up in the straight and narrow. And then I think I came to the personal confession in high school, where now I in high school I came to the place of accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. It was just that way. It didn't have a time where I saw
The light.
what, I saw a light or something happened, and then I said, from today, no,
Today I'm going to.
Yeah, it was just that way.
That is good. Now, coming back to high school, were you also serving in the same ministries in school, or?
Oh yeah, in high school I was a rapper, by the way.
You
Oh
were?
yeah, I was I used to write music.
Interesting.
I used to write music. I used to rap. I used to call myself Shady. Shady.
Wow.
I think I was likening it to Eminem.
Wow.
You know, Eminem, Shady. Yeah. So I used to rap. Oh my! I really enjoyed that season. I used to write music, and then. Well, in school, I was not what you would call a CU person, but I was just an attender.
Okay.
I was not an official or anything. I used to attend CU services. But I think in high school, there's a point where I left and I became something else, in the sense that I was not walking in the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
And then so that is in high school. I stopped singing. I stopped all those things. I stopped going to church in school. And thank God I came back.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Yeah, now growing up after high school, we are looking at the higher level of education. I mean, you going to university. You went to university, right?
Yeah, I went to university.
I'm not assuming anything. Yeah, so can you tell us more about it? Where did you attend? What drove you to do that?
My journey to school was quite had a lot of diversions, in the sense that growing up and being in high school, I always wanted to be a lawyer.
A lawyer?
I have always wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
By the way, maybe when I grow up I will. But I have always wanted to be a lawyer. And that was a very big, it was like a personal accomplishment that I really wanted to. I have always been an advocate of social justice. I've always loved things to do with what is right, you know, and defending people. So I have always, that is what I wanted. And so now I didn't go directly into university.
Okay, tell us.
I did other things in between. I started a business. I did a bit of business. Oh, and I love business. I have a knack for business, quite a natural knack. I usually see opportunity in like almost everywhere I go. So I did a bit of business.
Yeah.
But still I wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
So, but at that time, I could not go with jab. You know what they call cusps nowadays?
Yes, yeah.
Hiyo ilikuwa ni jab. So I could only go as a self-sponsored student.
Okay.
Whereby now that meant a lot of money.
That's true.
That money was not there. So at that time, I really had to wait. And as I wait, And
You
as
were
I
doing
waited, I
something.
decided to get into business. Now, as I'm in business, I thought, maybe because I also love politics. By the way, I love politics.
Okay, lawyer, politics,
I really
business.
love politics. Yeah. I really do love politics. So I decided let me join let me go to university and study political science. So
Okay.
I joined UN and I started political science. I didn't go so long. I dropped out.
What happened?
Well, I just didn't feel
Uko
like I'm
unaifeel?
in the right place.
Okay.
Yeah, as much as I enjoyed it is one thing to enjoy something, the idea of something. It is one thing to study it.
That's true.
Those were two very different. But I enjoyed political classes.
Okay.
I really did enjoy them. But yeah, I dropped. Then I think I went back to business. Yeah. Then again later I went to I think I am trying to remember the sequence of events. I applied to law school now. I applied to go to law school. And then just before I went in, I would say God happened.
God
And
happened.
then they redirected my path and I went into Bible school
Wow, that
at Africa International University.
is quite a journey.
Yes.
I want to take you back to business. You said you've done a lot of business.
Yes, a bit.
I would really like. What have you tried so far?
Well, I did a bit. I did groceries. I had a kibanda in the market. I did. I had a movie shop. I had a movie shop. I have done things to do with curtains and curtain rods. Yeah, I've done those ones.
So were you doing them concurrently or one after another?
Not concurrently, definitely. They were just they were seasonal.
Okay.
Oh, I have also been employed, by the way. There was a time I was employed. I was in an animal feeds company.
What were you selling?
Animal feeds.
Okay.
But my work was more of the handman, like I was carrying the unga.
Okay.
You know the 70 bags of, like the 70 kg bag
Yes.
of unga.
Yes.
You know the animal feeds.
Yeah.
So now I was doing that. Oh, I also tried my hand in camera and videography and all that.
How did that go?
Oh my goodness, that was interesting. Yes, a friend of mine, his name is Sam. I've always had an interest in cameras and videos. So a friend of mine called me to go with him for a wedding job. So he was taking, these camera people for weddings.
Yeah.
So he had that job. So he called me to go and be his help, like his mtu wa mkono.
Yeah.
And I used to go. We used to go. Now this one time, something happened.
Yeah.
This one time I go, and then we it was in a wedding in Kayole, I think.
Okay.
Then I think I was given the still camera, the one that faces the one that doesn't have to move a lot.
Yeah.
I was an amateur, by the way, so I was given the one that doesn't have to move a lot. So I'll focus and then leave it there,
Yeah.
So this one time in the wedding, the bride comes. So you know the way the bride comes and then tan, 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 tan. So the camera, I started shooting the aisle. So I shoot the aisle as the bride is coming, okay?
Yeah.
I know you know a bit about camera,
Yeah,
right?
yes. I do.
So as I'm shooting, there's an MC. An MC comes and says, kabla bibi harusi aingie, tungependa kwanza kuwapatia geografia ya mahali hapa. So he's making some announcements.
Okay.
So when he's making that announcement, this friend of mine comes like behind me and says, it's not a must for you to record everything. But he says it in Swahili, like si lazima record kila kitu. Yeah, and it makes sense because see, they'll go edit and there's no need of having a lot of whatever. And so I press stop as the guy is speaking. So he talks for about a minute or two. And then now he says, now tunaweza, like, let's welcome the bride.
Okay.
So everyone stands and the bride comes, and then I go back to
your camera.
Focusing on the
bride.
I'm telling you, I focused on the bride.
Ulikuwa unajiambia nini kwa kichwa?
See the way I'm doing an amazing job. Like you know, I am in the middle. You know the rules of the whatever.
Yeah.
The bride has to be in the middle. You know, the ups are not too high. You know, the lows are low enough. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, everything is on shot.
Perfect.
So I shot. And then I saw my friend. At some point I turned my head and then I saw him. When I saw him, I remembered his last instruction.
Sio lazima ushoot kila kitu.
Now the bride is here.
Oh Lord.
Then when I see him, I remember I had pressed stop. But I had not started recording again. Oh my goodness. Now he comes behind me and says, hata uja record kitu yoyote. And immediately I saw him is when it hit me. I had not pressed record. And the bride is here. Amefika. Oh my God. It was bad. It was so bad. Oh man, I hope the person who that wedding was for, I hope they gave you some kind of videos of you walking down the aisle, because I really messed up your whole. I'm sorry, but
apology accepted.
But yeah, that was like one of the worst experiences with camera. I don't think after that I ever went for another wedding shoot.
That was the end.
Yeah, I think that was the end. I can't remember going again.
Wow.
Or maybe I went, I can't remember. But yeah, that was bad. It was bad. Wewe unaimagine harusi yako mtu amefanya hivyo?
No. Utaniambia nirudi nianze ku.
Yeah, I know. We were almost telling the bride to go back.
Video.
I know, right?
Yeah. So I'll just have to go back.
Every time I think about that story, by the way, I feel bad for the person.
But I'm sure time has. They say time heals all wounds.
I hope they're enjoying the marriage. Now they don't really have to think about the walking.
Video. That is a really interesting one. Huh? Yeah, but of course those are lessons learned in our lines of work that we all have those moments. Yeah. So coming back to you joining Bible school, huh?
Oh yeah, joining Bible school. Wow. Now when I'm doing all these things, these business things, I am serving in church.
Yeah.
I was like I said, youth ministry, and also youth ministry and worship.
Yeah, worship.
Yeah, so much of it was drumming.
Yeah.
So while I'm doing all that, in my heart I am feeling God telling me, something about ministry. But as God is speaking to me, I'm still like, it's okay. Yes, I am still serving.
Yeah.
I will continue to serve. Even in my career, I will
I'll still
still
be
serve.
serving God,
Yeah. So I even had a good plan for the Lord. I had a good idea for him. I was like, let me do my law. And then as a lawyer, now I'll be able to be even an even better servant.
Yeah.
You know, you imagine a servant who is a lawyer.
The Lord's advocate.
I was like, now God, now just let me just do law first. So I went, applied for law school at Catholic University, and I was taken. Now I had decided I'm finally going to do my law.
Okay.
Then I think at that time I had this urge of ministry became even bigger. Long story short, because there's a long story to how I ended up there. I got to a place where I am now debating with God.
Okay.
Whether to go to Bible school or go to law. And so as I am debating all this, I am feeling like, no, I have to study. I want to be like my friends.
Yeah.
By the way, I wanted to be with my friends because I had a lot of friends in the legal career. So I just wanted us to be in the same like a circle. So now here is God telling me things to do with ministry. I'm like, now ministry, to be like who now? To be like what? And then again, growing up as a PK, ministry is not appealing.
That's true.
It's not appealing. You are a PK.
I know.
Tell me, is ministry appealing?
Growing up in that area, it's really
growing
not.
up as a PK.
You don't want to.
Back then, I don't know about today, but back then, growing up as a PK, you didn't want anything to do with ministry.
That's true.
Full time, the way our
Full-time
parents would call it. So I wanted a career and then ministry. I'll serve as a volunteer or something. But in my long debate with God and arguing, God gave me one instruction that this is what he said. He asked me, do you want to be a lawyer? And I was like, yes. Do you want to study law? Yes. Do you want to be an advocate of the High Court of Kenya? He said, exactly that one. And then God said, then come be my lawyer. Come study my law and be my advocate here on earth.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, that thing hit me like a pile of rocks. That completely shattered everything. And from that day, in anger or in protest, by the way, it was in protest. You know the way you would send a child usiku na anaenda akiwa amekasirika. I remember that because I remember nikitumwa duka usiku naenda ukistomp. Hata nikikutwa na waizi, ni shauri yenyu, ni nyinyi ndio itakuwa ni juu yenyu. In that kind of attitude, I went in protest. Fine, then I'll go to Bible school and you are the one who's going to provide everything. I don't even care where we are going to. Now who am I telling? So it's sort of like I'm daring God, right?
Yeah.
And then so I decided to look for a Bible school. the choice of Bible school was more of I didn't want a Bible school that is aligned to any sort of like church.
Okay.
In fact, I didn't even know what I am saying when I say that. I just wanted a Bible school that is
Neutral.
non-denominational.
Okay.
To some extent. Because many I would find were aligned to a certain specific church.
Okay.
By the way, when I was saying that, did not know that is an important thing, of which I know that was very important for my journey in Bible school, now that I'm looking back. So I started looking. Then a pastor friend of mine, shout out to him, Pastor Waroi. He told me, I went to the best Bible school is the one I went to. It's called Africa International University, and I didn't know about it.
Okay.
But then I asked him, where is it? It is in Karen, and then and I went there. So it was on my way to Kwea that then I changed direction, entered Africa International University, an amazing institution, by the way. Where that really shaped a big part of the rest of my life.
Okay.
And I'm so grateful to God for what He's doing to His people there at AIU, formerly known as Negest.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That is quite a journey. It's quite a journey.
Not
and it's
just a bit, yeah.
Just a bit of it. So now you finally decided, God wacha niingie huku na utafanya kila kitu, si ndio? So how is it that you're here now? Of course, you've studied theology. Take us through your journey in campus.
My journey in campus was interesting. I entered. I enjoyed my classes. My classmates. I enjoyed being with my classmates. By the way, it was normal campus. By the way, Bible school, or it was, people would assume it is like, it is like a seminary. It is a seminary, but it's sort of, AIU is a university where all courses are there, just that you're doing theology.
Okay.
There's someone else doing IT and whatever.
Yeah.
So you're all there. You get? So it was a normal university experience. Of course, back then I was like I said, I enjoyed my classes, and then I decided to join politics.
In
campus politics. Like I said, I enjoy politics, and I enjoy the politics is interesting. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I entered. I joined student politics, and how I entered first by supporting a friend.
Okay.
Pastor Kelvin Yamrer, shout out. He's in CITAM Nyeri.
Okay.
Yes. So he was vying. And so personally, I supported him, and I think I got to learn how campus politics is, while supporting him. But at that time, I was not supporting because I am interested. I was supporting because I enjoy being in the space of politics.
Yeah.
Since like a child. I remember 2002, we really campaigned in Kangemi for Fred Gumo. In fact, he gave me 50 bob. He gave me a new 50 bob. I was so happy. I went to my dad and told him, nimepatiwa pesa. pesa ngapi? Nikamwonyesha 50 mpya. I felt like buying supper for the entire family that day. But that's 2002. So me, I've always enjoyed politics. So I supported my friend Kelvin, and then he won. Then at some point, someone asked me, by the way, a friend of mine again from AIU, shout out to him. He's called Tyrus. He suggested and said something like, do you know one day you can be our president? And I was like, oh my God. And the words I told him was, you have planted something that will not come out. Now I don't even know how I'm going to do it, but you've put something in my heart that I know I will grow into it, and I'll find myself there. So I vied, and yes, I won, and I think that was quite an interesting journey, because it was in 2020.
Okay.
COVID happened.
Wow.
I'm here. I am now a president without people to lead. They have been taken home due to COVID. But there was still work to do.
You lead them online, huh?
Yeah, so I was leading them online. But there was still work to do. School went on. AIU did not stop. Again, it had and it still has great online programs. So we continued serving the student body. It was interesting. I learned a lot about myself.
Okay.
By the way, one of the biggest lessons I learned that time was learning me. And that I was told by a former student leader. His name is Dr. Wole Adegbile from Nigeria. Shout out to him. Hey, I'm shouting out to many people. But yeah, he told me one of the things you need to do here is learn yourself.
Okay.
And I got to learn myself a lot. I learned my abilities. I learned what makes me tick. I learned, while learning more other things, but one of the biggest things I would say I learned in that season was about myself. And so serving there got me so exposed to leadership and how things are done, and all those kinds of things. I met people. I met great, amazing people. VC was a friend of the VC. Is still a friend of mine. He was when you're a student leader in AIU, when you're let's say the position I was, the VC is sort of like your mentor.
Okay.
So we used to spend a lot of time talking. And also the DVCA who had come then. The VC was Prof. Dan Kitt, who's the chancellor at Moi University right now. And also the DVCA at that time, Prof. Kiplangat, who is a VC, I think Highlands University, if I'm not wrong, in Kericho. So yeah, the leadership shaped a big part of who I am at that time. And I believe even today, I credit a lot of it to that season of leadership, because school took care of theology. My theology was taken care of by class, but the other things were taken care of during.
Something I'm wondering about, and I don't know if our viewers are also wondering about it, but is it different from the normal ministry, what you learn in theology? Is it different from the doctrines that we see out here?
Well, I think my opinion, this is a personal opinion on what theology does or ought to do to a person who is looking to join ministry. It's not for you to now come and show people how deep or how much theology you know.
Okay.
It is for you to just learn the hard stuff and come and bring it simple so that people can understand it. Because I think theology is hard. It is. Yeah, it is. I think people think it is a university CRE. I think so.
I'm guilty.
Yeah. People tend to think that theology is a CRE for university people. No, it's not. It is one of the most difficult disciplines.
Okay.
In fact, Kitambo, there used to be, if I'm not wrong, the 3 disciplines that were core were philosophy, theology, and law. And so I think if you wanted to do law, I think you had to do the other 2, or they had to go together, or whatever. I don't know. But I think the essence of any minister studying theology is not to be puffed up or to know so much, rather than for you to help your congregants or to help your people to easily understand biblical concepts.
Okay.
Or doctrine. Something like that. So I would say theology is not easy, but also it's important for people to get to know good, sound doctrine. And so theology also helps with sound doctrine.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, depending on which school of which mentality you're entering into it. There are people who enter so that they can know what to criticize.
Yeah, that's true.
You can go with the idea of wanting to know this thing. Let me go and see what they are saying. And then you end up being on. But it has to take a lot of the Holy Spirit to guide you.
Okay.
on how to shape or how that shapes you. It's not just about the books, it's also being in step with the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. I see how you bring that
You've
in.
seen
I've seen
what I've done there.
Yeah. Yeah, so thus far, that's your journey from, let's say, being young, growing up in Christ, in church, in a family or a household that embraces Christianity and sound doctrine, right? And so, guys, I really hope you're enjoying the discussion here with Pasi. We are going to take a short break, but before that, if you have any questions, comments, inquiries for us, just post them on any of our social media handles on the comment section. Otherwise, if you haven't liked or subscribed to our channels, also please do so. We are going to take a short break, but we'll be right back in a short while. Welcome back, guys. I hope you've had a good break. If you haven't liked or subscribed to our channel, please do so. And do you have any questions for us or any comments? Please put them in our comment section. So let's come to, you finished campus. What next?
Yeah, I finished campus. Then there was that question, because I think my perspective of campus was, I am in this because I am just obeying. Then after that, I don't even know what will happen next. Then I think I ventured. I started. I went back to business. Yeah, but I was still serving.
Okay.
I was still in church, but now playing drums. worship team. So I was in the worship team. And then one of my very good close friends and mentor called me and told me there was an opportunity at CITAM.
Okay.
So I applied, and like they say, the rest is history. But one interesting thing, it was so interesting that I left. Someone would assume I've been a pastor since I don't know when. I don't think so. I was just obeying. I was obeying the call, okay?
Yeah.
And then, but I'm still serving. So I finished when I was called into ministry here at CITAM. I usually say, and I think you've heard me mention, I was playing drums and then came here.
Yeah.
Like the last thing I was doing was not a pastor somewhere else. I was playing drums and then came for pastoral ministry here at CITAM. Something I've really enjoyed and loved, serving God's people in that capacity.
Wow. That is quite a journey.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm saying, I think serving God in whatever capacity, there's no bigger, there's no better, there's no more
Superior.
more superior,
Yeah.
more like this is serving God more than this one.
The other one. Okay.
Yeah, for me that is my perspective. So even as I was playing drums, that I was feeling very happy and fulfilled. And now this was another form of serving God, but now in a place where you're ministering to people, more like in, what pastors do.
Yeah. From that I can get, like, we can't all be ministers, we can't all be teachers. You have to serve in a different capacity sometimes, and you have to be content with where you are, right?
You have to serve where God has placed you or has called you.
Okay.
So I would say for me, right now, God has called me to serving Him as a pastor.
Okay.
And I am contented with that. For someone else, God has given them an opportunity to serve Him as a media person, or as a worship team member, or I don't believe there's anyone who is lesser.
Okay.
It's just that we are all doing it in our own different ways. We are doing it in our own different ways, but all of that is to glorify God.
The body of Christ. Well, that is quite an interesting journey that you've walked. And now I see you're here at Kakamega.
Kakamega.
How is it? What was your first impression when you came to Kakamega? Wait, was it your first time?
Oh yeah, for sure. I am coming. Oh, I went to school in Westlands Primary. In 2004, I remember we did a Western trip.
Okay.
And so I remember going to Mumias Sugar, seeing Mumias Sugar. Then Mumias Sugar was something. And then I'm not sure, I don't know what happens there nowadays. But and then we came to Kakamega, and we passed through Muliro Gardens. Yeah, we passed through Muliro Gardens and we saw the Crying Stone. And we slept at Mukumu.
The school?
Mukumu Girls, yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we slept at Mukumu. So that was like the thing I remember we did. That is 2004. Yeah. So that was the only thing I remember about Kakamega. Now the next time I'm coming to Kakamega was having been posted here. And where my perspective, what did you ask? You asked
No, what was your first impression
my
when
first
you landed
impression
here?
or what I thought?
What you
Maybe
thought?
you want to hear what
I want both.
thought.
Yeah, I actually want both. Your
Okay.
first, of course, when you're posted here, you had expectations, and then you come and land here, right? What was the impression you got when you landed here in Kakamega as a town in the first place?
First, I thought Kakamega was before I came. I didn't know what to
expect.
I wondered, what town is this now? Of course, I Google mapped. You know, when you're told, I've grown up in Nairobi.
Yeah.
All my life, I've been in Nairobi. And so this is like the first time I'm being told you will go to a different town. Completely. So I was thinking I'm coming to a small town. Like there's a lot of village life. There's a lot of yani ni mashinani tu. And a lot of I imagined there's just people are just eating. There's a lot of food, food. Like there's a lot of food. You turn like this mboga, you turn like this another mboga, you turn like this anugali. Someone hits you with anugali, someone hits you with I imagined something like miwa. That. Or miwa. Yeah, na miwa. But when I came, I think I came on one morning. I traveled through the night on Easy Coach, then got to Kakamega, and it was interesting I walked a bit that morning before coming to CITAM Kakamega. I walked a bit, saw the town, and I thought it was very small. I thought it was very small. But kumbe I had not walked a lot of it. I had not walked a big part of it. But fast forward, how I found it, I really, I honestly don't think I had a qualm about it. I was just, this is interesting. Let's see this new interesting experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to see this new experience. Of course, it took a toll on me and family because, because now it meant I have to leave home, and I have to come here and be here alone. So it took a bit of, but I just got used to the town.
Okay.
But I was amazed at how it's not a village kind of town. It's not a village. Yeah, that is something I've really been surprised by this town. It's not a village. It is quite it's a good growing town. But the thing I like about it is that everything is within reach.
That's true.
Everything is within reach. Where I live, I can walk to work, I can walk to the supermarket, I can walk to the market. Like, life is not complicated. It is so easy here, as opposed to Nairobi, whereby you'll have to pay fare for anything, anywhere. Going to the market, I'll have to pay fare. Going to church, I'll have to pay fare. This was more of a relaxed whatever. And so my trips are usually home, church, home, church. maybe supermarket, home, church. Very easy. Yeah, that was my impression about the town.
That's interesting. Which year was that when you came here?
Oh, that was in 2023. October. October 2023.
Fast forward, how are you finding the place now?
Oh, now that I am leaving. Going back to the hustle and bustle of Nairobi.
Of the city.
But going back home, it's bittersweet. By the way, it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
To be very honest, it's bittersweet because I think I've made very good friends here. My colleagues, the church, the congregation. They have been so warm and kind to me. I've been able to learn and enjoy ministry here. Yeah, the young people are young and vibrant, and yeah, it is bittersweet living. But how I've found the place, the town, it's just a good town. It's just a good town that can become better.
Okay.
Yeah. If the leaders take it serious enough to do what they need to do.
Yeah, I get you that part. So now let's come back to your work at CITAM Kakamega. You have been, from the testimonials from the congregation, you're loved by the youth. The teens love you. How is that ministry coming along? How have you been able to bring it up to where it is right now? Working with the HODs, with all the team members. How has the journey been, and what are the highlights of working at CITAM Kakamega with the ministries, the different ministries?
Oh yeah, coming to CITAM Kakamega was still, by the time I was coming, I think we were still, we were still a church plant. And so there was a lot of things still to be formed. I remember we didn't have a youth ministry per se, but we had youth. So we had to get that formed. But I think one big shout out is to our lead pastor, Reverend Peter Saliku, for allowing me and giving me freedom and space to move, to just move and be and do things, Yeah, he has provided that environment. Just do. We see how it becomes, and thankfully we've developed a very good, strong, I believe, but will grow stronger youth ministry that involves the teens and the young adults who are the youth. That ministry has been quite it has been quite interesting. A journey of leaps and bounds, forming the leadership, building a team. I think that's one of my strengths, by the way. I am a builder. I don't mind starting things.
Okay.
I don't mind putting everything down and starting again. So we had to start afresh. Several ministries, YP Youth and all that. And I think forming leadership was building up a team that will make and grow this. I think has been quite a highlight. I think one of the biggest joys of my heart has been worship team. Yes. That one has been the biggest. One of my. I really I really enjoy serving in worship team, by the way.
Okay.
Even not as just a member.
Yeah.
So I've seen that team grow. That team has really grown. Where they are from where they are now from where they were, it's a huge leap. They are not perfect,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
but I'm just acknowledging growth, and I pray that God will grow them even more, and they'll become better. The youth and teens, I look forward to seeing them grow in the Lord, and one day seeing them somewhere, wherever in this God's green earth. They are HODs, they are pastors, they are wherever God leads them. But we started a football team.
Tell us about
Yes,
that.
we started a football team. There's a football team for what I would say
Was it?
like young adults, and then there's the one for teens. And so we have had a couple of matches. And we hope that grows. When they close school, they just continue engaging with all that, keeping them active.
Okay.
My perspective about teens is keeping them active, keeping them active in the things of the Lord, keeping them busy with the things of the Lord. Otherwise, other things will keep them busy.
That's true.
Yeah, just give them idle time, they will be busy. Nobody is never busy. But sasa, with young people, I think it's continuous engagement.
Okay.
Continually engaging them. Now they are dancing, now they are acting, now they are playing football, now they are doing Teens Week, now they are doing until they go to school. Then they come again, repeat. They go to school. They come, repeat. That's how we grew in church.
Wow.
And I believe when young people are given an opportunity, it's an opportunity they are never given. But if they are given, they can do wonders. The teens really usually shock me. Many times they just shock me at how they can do things by themselves. You'd imagine sometimes you're not there and you wonder, now what are they doing? Then you come and find, oh, you guys were doing such a creative thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are some of the things I think I have enjoyed here in Kakamega, CITAM Kakamega, and I look forward to hearing continual growth.
Yeah. Given that it was your first role as a pastor, your first posting here, and seeing how you've been able to both connect with the older generation within the church, the youngest generation, and the millennials and Gen Zs within the church. What would you say enabled you to really bring this, be in line with all the three groups? Because sometimes we usually find it's really hard. In church, there's one group that suffers the most in terms of being left out. Yeah, and we've seen, even as the growth here at CITAM Kakamega, we've seen that the teens are growing. They're coming to church. The young people, the youth, they are really participating, even in ministry, which is not, as I wouldn't say it's a common thing or it's uncommon, but sometimes you see the participation levels is very high, and it keeps growing. So what would you say, or would you attribute these experiences to, like the growth and the I don't know what word to use, but would you attribute it to also your experience at being a leader in campus, also, and your life experience growing in church and seeing how things are done and what you'd want to do differently? Would you attribute it to that?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest reasons why young people seem not to engage or are indifferent about service and ministry and all those kinds of things. I think it is an issue of space, an issue of whether there is space or no space. If there is space, young people will come and young people will participate. If they are given the space to express themselves the way in their own context. So that is to say, a young person can lead a service.
Yeah.
A young person can lead worship. A young person can preach. A young person can do all these things. Then you will definitely find them. I think it is just normal human nature where there is something for me or there is something I can get involved with. That is what I get myself into.
Okay.
If there is no space for me to be involved, then I will definitely not be there. So I think I think our church here in CITAM Kakamega, we've been able to incorporate young people in the service of the church.
Yeah.
In the sense that, in fact, we don't even have a separate service during our service, during the church service, where young people go and have their own service and whatever. We still have all the young people here, and then they usually have their own service on the second and fourth Sunday. But my point is, when they are involved, when they are engaged, when they are allowed to express themselves inside the church, they will definitely come. They will definitely come, and they will definitely participate. But absent of that, they will not be there.
Okay.
Yeah, they will just not be there. Assume there was no opportunity for you to be in media ministry. Would you be here?
I wouldn't say I would be here or I wouldn't, but I would say maybe my participation wouldn't be as...
Yeah, we would not be seeing you.
Yeah, that's true.
My point is, yes, you may be coming, but you'll be an attender. You'll just be attending.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. There is space.
Okay.
There is space, and the church has opened up that space for young people to participate. And we thank God for that.
Okay. So where do you see the future of this church growing?
The future
CITAM Kakamega growing?
Oh, the future of CITAM Kakamega.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a huge potential. Of course, when you have young people, you are sure of the future of the church. There's still a lot of territory to gain.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of new things to start, new programs to start, and that kind of thing. I think this year we are looking to start 2 services. Yeah, and so that will be quite a good progress. The children ministry. Oh yeah, the children ministry is another ministry, by the way. I've really enjoyed serving in and seeing the growth therein. And so as long as you have young people and you have children, the posterity of the future of the church is sure.
Okay.
And so I see this church growing and become quite a huge assembly in this region. Kakamega is still quite populated, and it is a big growing town. And so as the town grows, I think the church will grow with it. And we look forward to seeing what God continues to do here in CITAM Kakamega. Yeah.
And we've been really happy to host you here at Kakamega. Now you're leaving.
Yeah, I am. I have been posted elsewhere. I've been reassigned. Yes.
But I can say it's been a really huge pleasure for us to fellowship with you for this 1+ years. And I would agree that the youth, even those who fellowship here, are really, really excited. As much as we are sad, we are also excited to see how far this new venture of yours is going to take you, because God is there for you and you've seen God work in your life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So definitely this is a new territory, a new opportunity that God has opened for you, and we are just nostalgic, I guess, to see you go. We would want you to stay, of course, but again, it's also, when you leave, it's an opportunity for growth, and that doesn't mean that you're leaving for good or you're not coming back. Are you not ever coming
Me, I'm
back?
in step with the spirit. The spirit right now has said, I need you in Rongai. And so, I look forward to that. My wife, Faith, is very excited also about it. Shout out to her, by the way. And yeah, I think it is serving God should not be a thing that is programmed to by whatever, by territorial, like me, this is my territory, and this is only where I need to be. You should be open and ready to going wherever.
Okay.
And for me, as far as I am concerned right now, I am open to going wherever. I don't mind, as long as it is still serving God and doing that thing He told me, to be His advocate. So as far as there's that opportunity, I will definitely be there.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe a parting shot for our viewers. What would you like to tell them?
Oh, yeah, I think this is the beginning of a great journey, this show, beyond
Kingdom Pulse
beyond Sunday.
Yeah.
And I look forward to seeing how this grows. This is the first show, the first episode, and I would just like to tell the viewers, thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this. We look forward to seeing great content that will come, courtesy of the CITAM Kakamega media team.
Yes.
This has been something we've been talking about for a while.
A long time.
We've been talking about this for a while, and we pray and hope that this show will continue to be of impact and of great value to God's people. As for CITAM Kakamega congregation, I love you so much, and I thank God for each and every one of you. Thank you for allowing me to serve among you, and allowing me to express myself the best way I know how. It has been a joy serving among you. It has been quite an interesting ride, and I look forward to the next phase. I look forward to what God has in store in the next journey of ministry. I am going very fulfilled, very happy at what we've been able to do here. I don't feel like there is anything left, like kuna kitu nilibakisha, kuna kitu sikufanya, nilikuwa nimebakisha kwa roho yangu. I gave my all here, and I look forward to going and also serving God in Rongai and seeing how that turns out. And so I am also looking forward to Rongai. We've heard a lot of stories about Rongai.
Yeah.
You've heard a lot of stories.
No. Me, I've been a village girl all my life. So
no, but there are stories to do with I don't know, it is far. I don't
from
know,
town.
sijui ati when you go there, you even have to have a stopover. You've never heard of those stories?
Unfortunately, I've grown up in Kakamega.
Okay. Yeah. So they usually say when you go to Rongai, you know the way when you come to Kakamega, there's a stopover.
Yeah.
But it is so far that, so I want to go and see how far that is. But more importantly, I look forward to just going and being part of the God's people there. It's still CITAM, so we are still together.
Yeah, true.
We are still part of the same body of Christ. Yeah, so bado tuko pamoja.
Thank you so much, Pastor Shadi. I really appreciate taking your time to be here with us. Huh? It's our first episode, as he has said, so this has been our first episode ever. And we are so excited. He has been our first guest.
Oh, yeah.
And since he's part of the brainchild of this podcast, we just felt it was right for him to be part of us. Yeah. So I really appreciate you, and the team here really appreciate that you took your time to just fellowship with us, share your story with everyone out there, and just inspire other people to walk. You know, the journey doesn't have to be like Jonah's or like Paul's, but when you walk in step with the Spirit, then things flow, right? Yeah, so I really do appreciate you taking your time and being with us here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you, Pastor.
CITAM Kakamega to the world.
Yeah, thank
Watch
you.
this space.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys for taking your time to be here and just listening to Pastor Shadi, as we call him here in CITAM Kakamega. And we look forward to engaging you in more sessions and just taking the word of the Lord to you. This is Kingdom Pulse Beyond Sunday, where we discuss our sermons, share the word of God, not here in Sunday alone, but we take it beyond Sunday. I've been your host, Tekvia Hakasa, and you can like, share, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, and goodbye.